What's up, y'all? I just want to get up here real quick and get my thoughts on the verdict, the Daniel Penny trial or whatever. Um, it's sad, man. It's really disappointing. It's just how long do we gotta go through this shit, man? So a lot of us might not know that Queens Court building is dirty and Manhattan Court building is dirty. Those are the two dirtiest courthouses in the five boroughs, man. They dirty. And Manhattan is the dirtiest. That's where I was convicted at. Where I did 4 years. I was I was sentenced to 4 years in that court building. 111 Center Street. And it was on a misdemeanor. But they made it a felony. They made it a felony when it's really a misdemeanor and sent me up top. I told y'all about that charge already. You could look it up, man. That's how dirty Manhattan is, 111 Center Street. They dirty, bro. And if you look at what the news reporter was saying, she said that it's an old court building. It's an old courtroom, court building, whatever. And they had to open the windows and things like that. And the walls is thin. You could just hear everything. You know what I'm saying? When they have them old court buildings like that, that's probably one of the oldest. I don't know, but you could just tell. Sometimes when you go in these buildings, you could just tell like they real dirty. They real dirty and prejudiced. You know, so I just don't understand how they wind up finding this man not guilty. When the top charge, they couldn't make a unanimous decision on the top charge. Remember that? So they threw it out. They dismissed the top charge, the first count, the top charge. And, if they was deadlocked on that, which resulted to the judge throwing it out, that means that somebody wanted to convict him on that because they couldn't come up with a unanimous decision. You see that? So then they come back and they deliberate on a lesser charge. And they just come up with a decision so fast, within an hour. That's a red flag right there. And the reporter spoke on that as well. How do you be deadlocked on a top charge where you can't make a decision, and then for the lesser charge, you come back with a verdict so fast? What happened to the person? What happened to the juror that wanted to convict Daniel Penny? What happened to that juror? What did y'all tell him or her? Him or her? Somebody told him or her something. Something happened in between the first deliberation and the second one. Something happened. And they put some pressure on a female or male, whoever it was. They put pressure on them and told them, listen, get it right. I need you to roll with the rush. Don't mess this up. You mess this up, you're going to be in some hot water. I know that's what they told him. So they got it straight. And they came back with a unanimous decision, finding him not guilty. That's weird. And that's why they want to talk to the jurors and see what was going on. Because there was an old case, and I don't know what case it was. It was an old trial with somebody else. And they spoke to the jurors after they came up with a verdict. And the jurors one of the jurors, one or two of them said they was forced to make a decision that they really didn't want to make. So now it's on their conscience that they sent somebody to jail that shouldn't be going to jail. That's a fact. That probably shouldn't even be going to jail. I wish I knew what the case was, but I can't think of it. It's just, so that shows you that somebody be putting pressure on these jurors and telling them everybody is on this path and you on this path. You better roll with the majority for it be a problem. They put pressure on people for minor things, less serious things than this. So why wouldn't they put pressure on them for this type of case where a white man could be going to jail? Why wouldn't they? I also want to say, these people are punks, man. When I was up top and did my 4 years or whatever, I never forget the counselor told me, like, yo, these people are punks. She was just talking about what was going on up there. Because they always jumping on people. 5, 6, 7 of them jumping on one person, beating them up and all of that. Everything they do, they always doing some pussy shit, man. I'm just keeping it a buck. Do you see Danny Penny, whatever his name is? Do you see his physique? You see how nasty his body look? He looks weird too. It's just like, yo, you wouldn't do that to a regular civilian. That wasn't a regular guy you did that to. He had mental issues and he was weak, feeble, whatever, no food, no energy, just nothing. You're gonna just run up and choke somebody out like that. Just like how y'all did George Floyd. 100 people on his back. One man got his knee on his neck while he handcuffed. Like, what? Y'all niggas is pussy, man. Yeah, I said it, man. And you're weird looking too. And you're ugly. Your kids is ugly and everything. Y'all some ugly motherfuckers, man. Y'all some weird looking motherfuckers. And you're punks, man. The lady said it. Y'all always doing some pussy shit. You would have never did that to somebody else. You would have never did that. You would have never did it, my man. And it just don't make no sense to me. How hard was you choking this man? You couldn't hold him down without choking him like that? I'm pretty sure y'all could have held him down. Other guys was holding his hands. I'm pretty sure. So how hard were you choking this guy? We really got to make sense of it. How hard was he choking him? Pretty hard. Pretty tight headlock or whatever. It was pretty tight, bro. It had to be. Come on, man. If I'm holding somebody down, waiting for police to come, why do I gotta have them in a tight chokehold like that? That in itself should have got him convicted. You don't need to do all of that to hold a person down, especially when 2 other people is holding his arms. You could have him in a chokehold and still have him, and still holding him in place. And it don't have to be tight. It could be enough where he could breathe. And if you see the resistance happen and then you tighten it up, but you just straight up had the headlock tight from the very beginning all the way to the end, like, you could, obviously, if he's dead, like, you never had somebody in a headlock before, you don't have to have it tight to keep them in place. You could have it at a decent, where they could breathe, like, enough space where they could still breathe. Nobody's stupid here, man. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's stupid. So we need to really Look at the head district attorney for Manhattan, which is Alvin Bragg. What is he doing? He's the head DA. He could have made sure a conviction was handed down. He could have made sure this guy got convicted. He's the head DA. He could have pulled some strings and made it happen. Come on. You just gonna let them just sweep that under the rug? We need a new head DA. And I sent him paperwork regarding my unjust conviction in 111 Center Street. He didn't do nothing about it. He actually denied it. Yeah. I sent him some paperwork because they had something when they was looking into post convictions. Y'all remember that? There's people that remember it. Alvin Bragg was looking into unjust convictions because they must have had a lot in Manhattan, 111 Center Street. So I sent him my paperwork making him aware of my unjust conviction. And he denied it. But he just said that they was really doing a thorough investigation on unjust convictions. You didn't see mine as being unjust? 4 years? 4 years locked up? Where it was a nonviolent offense? Listen, y'all. They locked me up for a misdemeanor and made it a felony. And put a felony on a paperwork and just sent me up. A lot of people like, how they do that? Look, man, that's what they did. And what that taught me was that whatever's on that paper is what matters. It don't matter about all that. They could put whatever on the paper and that's what's sticking. And that's it. It was a misdemeanor. That's why they mad now. They mad at me now because of this. Because if that comes out, it's going to crack the criminal justice system. What they did to me. They sent me up top for the first time. I never been up there. I never experienced that before. You sent me up there. That's a lot of mental anguish and damages, whether I was going through stuff or not. You can't just send somebody way up there on a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor. You made it a felony. My whole point is I could see if I was doing bids and been up top. I've never been up there. And when you go up there, you around these people that don't like you. They will kill you up there. So if that comes out, the thing that makes it so bad what they did to me, and this ain't about me, I'm just making a point, was that the charge was so petty. So it's so obvious when they look at the charge, they're going to be like, why did he do 4 years for this? And it's going to open up a can of worms. And they still mad to this day. And this happened in 2012. That's why I'm in hot water with them. They don't want this to come out because it'll crack the criminal justice system. And a lot of people don't know who run the criminal justice system. That's the same people that's tearing up everything out here. Killing everybody. The same people. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I just want to, I also want to mention that, the father had an outburst in the courtroom. And they told him to get out. But people were getting excited and getting loud for Daniel Penny. And they didn't tell him to get out the courtroom. They told the father to get out. My thing is, how long are we going to have to deal with this, bro? This is frustrating, man. It didn't even happen to me. This happened to somebody else, but I feel it as if it was me. We know y'all got power, but this is something got to change. I don't know, like, are y'all going to stay in power forever? Where y'all could just kill somebody in broad daylight? and just go in a courtroom and just get acquitted. I'm just like, that's the world we living in, I guess. A lot of people didn't got killed, but as I get older and I start seeing what this country is about, I just can't believe my lying eyes, man. I heard about all the stories about what these people do, what they've done to our leaders and things like that. We heard about it. I was young, when hearing about this. I didn't pay it no mind, As you get older, you start just looking at stuff different, and I can't stand these people, man. It ain't just because of what they did to me. It's because what they doing to other people as well. I can't stand them. And they punks. This ain't about canceling people on social media. You don't really want me to say what I really want to say. Like, what is wrong with y'all people, though? Like, you're just going to take somebody's life like that? Y'all some punks, man. You really are. And you're weird looking. You could tell by the way you walk you ain't from around here. Weird looking motherfuckers. Weird. Weird, bro. Very weird. You look weird. You act weird. Your kids look weird. You're artificial. You like artificial beings. Like, I just it's aggravating. It's not about being funny or nothing. I'm being for real right now. These are some weird looking people. Where did they come from? Because they causing havoc, man. They causing a lot of problems. And we tired of it, man. Like I said, we know you got power. We know that. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, though. Real talk, man. I mean, I'm not even gonna get into all of that, but I'm just saying, like, the shit y'all do, it aggravates people, man. People are tired, man. People are tired of this shit. I know I am, son. I know I am. And I'm chilling. If people know me, they know I'm humble. I be chilling. But you also know, if you know me, and you can just watch the stuff I talk about, you know how I feel about this shit. You know I don't like this shit. I don't like it, bro. I don't like it. All the evidence, all the evidence points to his guilt. The circumstantial evidence, all of that. You didn't take the stand like I said last time. All of this stuff means something. It shows your guilt. And they just turned around and just let him go. So, it just shows we in 2024. We about to be in 2025. And we know what's going on in America, but I wouldn't think, because this stuff gonna be alive forever. We know that. Well, that's what I feel. But I didn't think that you could just choke somebody out on the train and go in a courtroom and and just beat it like that. I didn't know it was that bad out here. I thought maybe, and this is some bad times that we in, but I thought the courts would be a little more better than that. Put some shade on it a little. This is blatant disrespect. And people don't care because people in the courts, because he's nobody to, as far as, what's his name? Nearly, whatever his name is, the victim that got killed, impersonating Michael Jackson on the train. They look at him like he's nobody. So I think that's another reason why this wasn't really taken seriously, and he's still He's still a human being though, man. It's wrong what y'all did. I don't like it. I really don't. I really don't. And it's just was so aggravating. Like I said again, y'all some punks, man. Y'all really are, man. You're artificial beings too. You know, you're artificial. You have no what's your origin like? Where you came from? Like, how was you created? We're not gonna get into all that. It's just, I don't like it, bro. So what? Another thing I wanted to bring up was that now they say you can go after Daniel Penny in a civil case, and it's more easier to prove to get some justice in civil court. It's much easier to get some monetary damages compared to getting a conviction and sending a person to jail. You know, it's easier to win in civil than it is in criminal. Now that don't make no sense. And what they trying to say is, we'll pay you for killing him. We know we know he's guilty of killing him. We know that. We know we killed him. Or we know that he killed him. We'll pay you for it, but we ain't gonna send him to jail. That's what they saying. Cause how is it that you could win in one court? It's the same issue. You could win in civil, but you can't win in criminal. It's the same issue. Then they try to say, well, you ain't got to prove too much. You know, as far as what you gotta prove is different in the civil than it is in the criminal case. And okay, that's cool. But see, I do this. I'm a legal advocate, so I just use my common sense. It don't make no sense. You're pretty much saying, when y'all do this to everybody with these cases, all you're saying is, we'll give you money, we'll pay you for what we did, but we ain't sending this guy to jail. We not sending this ugly motherfucker to jail. This weird looking ass motherfucker. We not sending him to jail. But we'll give you some money. We don't even care about money. That's why they'll throw you that money. Or you could go after him on a civil level. You know why? Because money will make him shut up. He black, he poor. Just give him some money. He'll forget about it. He don't even care about his son. Just give him some money so he can live a good life. I bet you he'll forget about it. These people they dirty, son. This shit is mind-boggling. I'm just like, it's very, when I look at these people, I get frustrated nowadays. They killed my whole family, man. It's a lot. This shit ain't got nothing to do with me. But it's just another issue with these ugly ass artificial beings. Where did they come from? Where did they come from? Then they probably want to take shit down. Oh, you this, you that. You talking crazy on this platform. We gonna take the video down. I really hate these motherfuckers, man. I really hate them, bro. Like, oh, we gonna take your video down. Why would you be worried about a video? Throw this nigga in jail, man. Fuck this video. These are some real evil, crazy, like, I don't even know what to say about these people. And now that I get older, I look at what they do, and I look at the pattern and how long it's been going on, and how many lives you took. This is not the norm. This is not normal. It's not. So look, man, to the family, man, sometimes we can't do much, especially when the jury just acquitted him, it's not really much you can do as far as getting him to go to jail. But what you can do is we're going to try to get a new head DA, because Alvin Bragg could have did more than what he did, if he did anything. He's the head DA for Manhattan. What did you do, Alvin Bragg? You just sat back and let them do what they want? Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, he could have prosecuted the case. So yeah, get him out of there. That's what we want to do. Get Alvin Bragg up out of there. Get somebody else in there. And start arguing stuff that don't make sense to you. Start beating that. Start talking about that. We're going to start focusing on that. We're going to start focusing on, the family need to focus on the stuff that don't make no sense. Like, how was the jurors deadlocked on the top charge, and then all of a sudden, because if they deadlocked on the top charge, which was manslaughter, if they deadlocked on that, that means somebody wanted to convict him. How is it that it wasn't a unanimous decision for the manslaughter, but then the lower offense, which I forgot exactly what it was, y'all came back with a verdict so fast, within an hour? Y'all was just deadlocked. So what happened in between there? Somebody pressed one of them jurors and told them, you better get on the right page. You better get on this path with us. Don't be the oddball, because you're going to be under fire. We're going to ruin your life. It probably was a death threat. Who knows? And that person, that one or two or however many persons didn't agree, they fell in line after that. They fell in line once they came back and started deliberating again. They fell right in place and got it over with. They told him, stop playing games. Get this over with, man. So this guy could get up out of here. So, if I could give a family any advice, you want to see how can you shed some light on that part. Okay, we know that they acquitted him, but we want to look at the circumstantial evidence. We want to bring this back up again, because you can't bring up the evidence that was used, of course. It was already presented. So what we want to focus on, other little shit. And believe me, you could bring shit up. You could point some shit out where they would have to do a whole new trial. That's what I feel. I never seen that in writing. It's just common sense, where shit wasn't done right. Like I said, the evidence was presented. Everybody presented what they had, so they made their argument, and the jury ruled on that. But wait, what happened? Let's talk to the jurors. Something happened. You see what I'm saying? We need to touch on that. We also need to touch on the expert witness. You got an expert witness saying that you was on this man's neck too long, and the defense just gonna say, nah, it was K2, or whatever else they said about him. And you see they said it was K2, right? That's letting you know that synthetic bud is meant to kill you. They said it. They trying to say it's synthetic marijuana that killed him. So just by them saying that, and not even trying to switch topics, but just by them saying that, they telling you that synthetic weed that we got out here, it can kill you. If they saying that that's what probably killed them, that's another. See, you just gotta use your head. So yeah, we wanna go at this. We wanna tackle this in a whole another way now. You see what I'm saying? There's different ways to skin a cat, so we wanna try to skin it in a different way. And that's what I be doing. When I'm arguing shit don't go one way, I'm trying another way. And you can do that when it comes to this law. You can, you know what I'm saying? You could tackle this shit in different ways when you're reading law a lot. And I'm gonna give you, you know, my advice. I'm not saying it would work, but the thing that stands out in this case is that somebody told them jurors something. So we need to talk to them jurors. And they had a case in the past. The family should look it up or, you know, find out what case that was. Not that it'll help, but just to show you, and it probably would help actually, but just to show you that what I'm talking about is some real shit. They had a case, I forgot what case it was, I'm going to repeat it again, where one of the jurors, after the person got convicted and they sent them off to jail, they was talking to the jurors, the reporters, and one of the jurors said, they forced me to make a decision that I didn't want to make. And I probably sent the person to jail that shouldn't even be going to jail. That's my word, they said that. This is why, with this case now, this Daniel Penny case, you keep hearing the reporters talking about, you know, we want to see what the jurors got to say. Because they know something went wrong with the jurors. You don't just be deadlocked and then all of a sudden you have a unanimous decision. You're deadlocked the first time, then the next time everybody's on the same page. Nah. And they got on the same page fast, within an hour. They said it took them like an hour. That's fast, bro. For y'all to be deadlocked, and you got all this evidence pointing to his guilt. It's rigged. You're just gonna violate the family like that? Blatantly violate them? And then say you could go after them on a civil level. You could take it up in civil court. We gonna give you some money. Damn, these people crazy, bro. We gonna give you some money so you can forget about it. That's pretty much what they're saying. I don't like it, bro. I don't like it, man. I really don't. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. Yeah. That's about it, man. Like, so, and you always also want to point out the history of 111 Center Street. The history. You got to keep beating that nail. That's what I was trying. You got to keep pressing them about this. Keep talking about it. Having, protests about it. About something is not right with 111 Center Street. Something is not right about that court building. Something is not right about Alvin Bragg. Something is not right with him. Focus on the head DA. Focus on 111 Center Street. Focus on the expert witness. Focus on them jurors. You see? All of that stuff, it has something to do with the conviction, but it don't have nothing to do with the conviction, if you understand what I'm saying. These are circumstantial things that you can point out that could have them dig this thing back up probably. They say once a person get acquitted, there's nothing, you can't be retried again. All of these laws is just to help them. Like, no, you can be retried. As far as I'm concerned, it's not over. A decision was made, right? But what if there's some issues with with the people who made the decision, who came up with the verdict? There's some issues there. What if there's some issues where people was being pressured? You see? That's a whole nother topic, which could change the dynamics of things. Somebody was being pressured. Let's get to that. What's going on behind the scenes? You see? If we don't bring that up, then what is it for us to look into? You give us something to look into that happened outside of the norm, then now you're giving them something, a reason to look into something. This is different from an appeal or whatever. When people are appealing cases, they don't talk about, well, somebody pressured the juror, somebody threatened the juror. You don't hear about those arguments on the appeal. You see, these are arguments that's outside of the norm. So if you bring them up, they have no choice but to investigate now. And all of that, you can't try a person that was acquitted. All of that is out the window, as far as I'm concerned. I didn't see it in writing. That's not in black and white. That's not the law. But just from reading law, it makes sense. If I'm pointing something out that's outside the norm, has nothing to do with the regular process, it has something to do, but it's different. It's distinct. If I'm pointing something out which would warrant an investigation, yeah. I just pointed one thing out. I just pointed something out for you. What happened with the jurors? Try to find out, and that's why they make it hard to find out who the jurors. Well, actually, the family know who it is. You gotta try to see what's going on with these jurors. That's probably the only option that you guys have. Well, one of the strongest ones. Everything else is just, speculation, I guess, but we know 111 is dirty, prejudice. I don't want to use the word I really want to use. We know where we at. Manhattan, period. Certain parts, especially the court system, and then the older the building, the worse off you are. Yeah. It's too old. The reporter said it. Usually when things is old looking and it's been around for a while, it's a lot of evil. So it's bad energy. A lot of dirty things they did in there. Even with me. I'm just not feeling this, bro. Even with me. What they did to me. Convicted me in that same court building. Know it was a misdemeanor. Put it down as a felony. And told you to keep it moving. And then while I was upstate, my mother passed away out of nowhere. So we dealing with some demonic forces, man. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. And I don't even want to stop talking on this because I'm really feeling away. I'm really feeling away. And it's not even about, it's about the person that got choked out, but it's really just principle. And that was a crazy one. It doesn't matter if a person's a crackhead. It don't matter what they are, son. It don't matter. You just don't get up. You would have never did that to a gangster. You would have never did that to a crazy nigga that was on the train acting stupid. A real, you would have never did that. You probably would have tried it and got your ass whooped. But you know that dude was a weak link. He was, you know, he was easy to do. It was easy for you to do that to him. It was easy for you to do that to him. That's why y'all niggas is pussy, man. Yeah, I said it, man. Fucking ugly ass nigga, man. Yo, I'm out of here, man.